Hey everyone, it's Lauren Alvin with Add-A-Pup Dog and Puppy Training. And Nina. And Kissy. Big wet Kissy. Thank you. We're going to talk about food manners. Food manners might look like something you already do. Lots of folks ask their dog to sit and wait while they put their food on the ground, which is totally fine. But food manners, the way I like to teach it, is an exercise more than a finished behavior. You can use this exercise to create a finished behavior, it's totally fine, but I'll explain the difference that I want there to be between the two. So you can add a word to this, you can add a cue, it's totally up to you. But the value in this is teaching them impulse control around food. We happen to be doing it in a bowl, we happen to be doing it the same way you might put your food down for your dog for dinner. There's other ways to do it, but I like this one because it's easy. There's an easy little visualization trick, so it makes it easier to teach to folks. So food manners is going to be the dog maintaining their composure while food is lowered, food is on the floor, food is out in the open, food is tossed, food is spelled out into embarrassing words, food is lined up on their paws, other things like that, which make for cute videos and pictures and stuff, and graduation pictures for Zinni to Zen. But at the base of it is the ability to stay cool even when there's food out there. And that builds on to leave it builds on to just general impulse control. And that's what we're looking for. What I'm not looking for is a finished behavior of the dog sits and waits and you lower it to the ground and they watch it and then you stand there going like this and then they're staring at the food and then eventually you go okay and they go and just shove it all in their face, because the inside, the internal feeling of that is the dog going 10, 9, 8, 7, just waiting for you to give that release cue so they can shove it all in their face. And that's the opposite of chill around food, which is what we're looking for. So like I said, this is more an exercise than a behavior. You can turn it into a behavior. All behaviors are tricks. It's, it's kind of wishy-washy, but I like to teach it as an exercise more than a finished, you have to make your dog wait for their dinner sort of thing. So I have a bowl of kitties. I've got a dog, a thirsty dog. I'm gonna back up a bit so you can see both of us doing this. All the treats are gonna be in here. This hand is gonna be empty. It's gonna stay away from the bowl until it's time to pay her out of it. I do not want treats in this hand and they're both going down so the dog can watch this in order to ignore this part. You see what I mean? They're paying attention to this regardless of what's going on with this because they're relying on the treat and the promise of the goodies. So I want them focusing on what I need them to be ignoring, focusing on what I want them not to focus on, and then lowering it. We'll start at the 10th floor. If she can remain seated from 10 to 9, she gets paid. 10 to 8, she gets paid. 10 to 7, she gets paid, etc. I want to find a place where I'm not, come here baby, come here nose. I'm not coming down right on top of her head because that's not fair. I don't want to come super far away because that's way too easy. I also don't want to come down really, really slow so it's tedious and terribly difficult for a dog to maintain their cool while that's going on. Our goal is to get to the ground. Once we get there, I'm going to take away my body language. I'll explain that a bit. But we'll start with the elevator game. We'll go 10 to 9, 10 to 8, 10 to 7, etc. When we get in the snout floors that are, right here, that's where it's going to get more difficult. So you might make progress 6 inches at a time up here. And then once you get, right in front of their nose where it's really harder to make those decisions, you might be going an inch or so at a time. Totally fine, totally normal. You ready, baby? Let's back it up. Come here. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to pay her for that little baseline behavior, because that's what I want you to do. If your dog was jumping up now, then you might need to start, by just asking them to have their feet on the floor. We're going to start on the 10th floor. She can still keep her cool. Perfect. We'll go 10 to 9. Good job. We'll go 10 to 8. This actually isn't an exercise I do that often with Nina. She's got impulse control around food. It's like a version of the bucket game we play, but we haven't done this elevator game in several years. Good job. I'm going a little bit further each time. I don't care if she looks at it. What I don't want is her snaking her head forward. I certainly don't want her getting up or, booping it with her nose, jumping up a bit. She can smell it and check out what it is, but I don't want her to make any movements to get it. If she did, okay? Give me nose. Thank you. Sit. Thank you. If she did, I'm gonna set her up to fail here for a second. If she made a move for it, I'd just pick it up and go again. If she makes a mistake, I made a mistake. I'm not teaching her to get it right, I'm teaching her to make mistakes. And that's not what I want to do. So if your dog's jumping up for it, dial it back a little bit, dial it up a little bit, help them get it right the next time. You ready, baby? Going a little further. Good job. Thank you. Good girl. Thank you. Notice that she's focused on the bowl and ignoring it. She's not, expecting anything out of my other hand. I want her to know what she's making a decision about. I don't want, dangling a paycheck to overpower her decisions. So when we get to the ground, I'm going to tap it, I'm going to pay her. Once your dog can tap it, we're going to go down, pay them right out of it, pick it right back up. Dogs are body language communicators. This 100% means this is mine. This means it's a little less mine. This means it's a little less mine. This means it's a lot less mine, etc. So we have to start removing our body language from this so that they are relying on their own ability to control their impulses rather than me going, mine, with my body language. Try it out in the middle a little bit more. Good job. Once your dog can get to the ground, I'm going to take some out and I'm going to put it on the floor. Good job. I kept my hand close because she got kind of a gargoyle face. She's thinking about it now. Good girl. Thank you. Good girl. Play around with it, sprinkle them out on the floor. Good girl. Good job. Take my body language away a little bit. Good girl. Good job. So you'll see she's interested in the food. And if I had released her when I got to the floor, like if I go, okay, right now, she'd eat it all up. That's not what I want her to do. I want her to chill out about it and just control herself. Good job. That's our little easy behavior. Thank you. Good job. Nice. Thank you. Good girl. All right, so you've got it to the ground. Perfect. You can use this as an exercise. You can use it as precursor to the bucket game. Look that up, Bucket Game by Chirag Patel. If you're practicing this at meal times and you do want to put it on the floor and release your dog to eat it, get it to the floor, pay them a couple times. Then I'm going to separate it a bit. I'll ask for a nose, I'll ask for another one, ask for over, sit, down, wait, take a lot out, I don't want her to eat that much. Okay, I just separate it a little bit so it's not at the end of the exercise we were just doing. I don't want that countdown, oh my gosh, I can't wait for it feeling to be tied with food manners, because that's not food manners, that's food expectation. So I hope that helps. We do food manners in our beginner good manners class. It's like I said, it's a useful exercise for impulse control, and you can use it to build up to all sorts of things. So I hope you find that helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or requests. Take care. Bye-bye.